Hi, it's Keith here from the Evangelical Free Church Stony Stratford, and we're continuing our series of short talks in the Gospel of Luke. And so today we're looking at Luke chapter 22 and verses 39 to 46. After the Passover meal, Jesus goes with his disciples to the Mount of Olives. Now it's interesting to note this, that it says he went out as usual. This seems to have been Jesus' special place, perhaps to pray. And it seems to have been a regular practice. When I was growing up, it seemed that the advice of the schoolyard was where people learnt everything. Except the trouble was, it wasn't always very good learning. I very quickly understood that if I wanted to get the real lowdown on things, if I wanted some real wisdom, in sort of looking into something, I had to go to my dad because he'd give me level-headed advice, not the odds and ends my friends had picked up. Now that's interesting here because Jesus gives his disciples advice. Verse 40, on reaching the place, he said to them, pray that you will not fall into temptation. Jesus is going to pray to his Father as a man would pray to God. And if he needs to do it, his disciples also need to do it. We see that they're tired, they're vulnerable, they are prone to temptation. And this tells us something, doesn't it? We are actually made to be in relationship with God. God is a relational being. He looks to have a relationship with us. But the disciples fail miserably. We read that when Jesus arose from prayer and went back to the disciples, he found them asleep, verse 45, exhausted from sorrow. Verse 46, why are you sleeping, he asked them. Get up and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. But where they fail, he succeeds. It's interesting to note the prayer that Jesus prays. In verse 42, we see the essence of it. Father, if you're willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done. That seems a strange illustration, but it's an illustration that comes in the Psalms and indeed in Jeremiah, and we find it in Isaiah as well, one of the Old Testament prophets. Just listen to this. Awake, awake, rise up, O Jerusalem, you who have drunk from the hand of the Lord, the cup of his wrath. You have drained it to the dregs, the goblet that makes men stagger. This is sort of, really a picture of God's judgment. And we're seeing something here. You see, there's a bit of a danger when we look at this to say, well, isn't it wonderful? Jesus shares our experience. He shares some of our suffering or something like that. But there's more going on here. He literally, as the whole point, the whole focus of his ministry, he is going to take upon himself God's judgment. He is going to pay the price for our rebellion against God. As I said, this is the fulfillment of his earthly ministry. And so he looks to his Father. He doesn't want to go through this, but he will be obedient to his Father if that's the case. So Jesus' experience is ours, but there's something much more important about this. And perhaps it's best illustrated when we look at Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 7 to 10. During the days of Jesus' life on earth, he offered up prayers and petitions without cries and tears to the one who could save him from death. He was heard because of his reverent submission. Although he was a son, he learnt obedience from what he suffered, and once made perfect, he became the source of eternal salvation for all who obey him, and was designated by God to be a high priest in the order of Melchizedek. There's a lot there, isn't there? And it's rather interesting. It talks about Jesus being made perfect, but wasn't that the point? Wasn't that the reason why he could become the sacrifice, the perfect sacrifice for our sin. Well, it's going back to what I said earlier. There's no temptation that you or I face that Jesus has not. He is the perfect sacrifice because he has experienced the whole range of temptations. We can never face anything and say Jesus doesn't know what that's like. He does. He's been there. He's done that. Literally, he's got the T-shirt, if we were to use that phrase. He's experienced everything. And yet out of love for us, he is prepared to go and suffer and take the judgment of God upon himself rather than let it fall on us. And so we can know forgiveness if we come to the Lord and are truly sorry because Jesus has become a substitute for us. Thank you for listening. Just before I go, I always like to give away a freebie, and we're giving away this one at the moment. Where is God when things go wrong? You can find it on the rails at the front of the church, or if you need to, phone me and I'll pop one round to you. It's completely free. Thanks for listening.